What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Brent Bryson here, giving you guys my updated personal PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds PUBG sensitivity settings for the Xbox and the PS4. Now, before I get into it, again, these are my personal sensitivity settings, so it might not work to your favor, but it definitely worked to my favor. I recently got 22 kills and a chicken dinner using the settings, so there's going to be a tab on the top right. You could click it right now to see that video. This sensitivity settings is the best that I had, and again, like I said before, this is a combination of Militia and Zastro sensitivity settings. I was inspired by their playstyle, so that's what I worked it on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm gonna go relatively quick on these sensitivity settings because I know you guys just care about the numbers and not the explanations. If you guys do want it explained, let me know and I'll try my best to comment down. I do reply to every single comment, so yeah, let's get started. So my controller button preset is set to type B. This has always been in type B. I never changed it. I never even attempted to try type C. I don't use type A. Again, if you guys don't know what type B does, is you hold down the left trigger so you could aim down sight, and then you press LB to hold your breath. It's a little awkward, but I do have an elite controller, and my left paddle is set to left LB, so then I can hold my breath using the left paddle. My invert X and invert Y axis is off. My right stick dead zone is at 15 because I do have stick drift on my right analog stick. So when I kept it at 10, I noticed that my analog stick was, drifting up, even though I was like being idle. My left stick dead zone is at 2 because you don't really need, stick tension to move your character. I kept it at 2 so then I can move my character as fast as possible, and as well as, I don't stay in one spot for very long, so then I'm always on the move no matter what. Now, I do still have my vibration on. I did have it on 10 before, but that was killing my battery life, so I kept it, or I left it at 2 for my my vibration, because I still like having a vibrator in my hand. No pun intended. I like feeling the vibration. Deal with it. My forward running sensitivity, I kept it at 30. The only time I did feel a difference was when I bumped it all the way up to 50 when I first tried using this sensitivity, but it felt a little off, so I put it back to 30, and I feel like 30 is my sweet spot. Honestly, there's really no difference for me. The reason why I kept it at my forward running sensitivity at 30 was so when I parachute, I could go 164 kilometers per hour instead of 194 when you put it all the way down to 0. My movement sensitivity, this is what I did change. I did put it all the way up to 100 because I like to rush a lot, and movement sensitivity, putting it all the way up to 100, helps you run as fast as possible with the lowest input for your left analog stick. Now, the bread and butter for my whole sensitivity is my vertical multiplier sensitivity. What this is now at 58. It used to be at 75, but I put it down to 58 because you don't need to look up and down as fast as you need to look left and right. And as well as, I believe, the lower your vertical sensitivity, the easier it is for you to record your horizontal recoil for all your guns. And especially since the barrel is my favorite gun of all time in PUBG at the moment, I do need it lower so then I can control the barrels as well as I do right now. Now, my general sensitivity, I did bump this all the way up to 20 so then I could look left and right as fast as possible, because there are multiple times where someone is just sneaking up behind me and they miss a couple shots, and then I could turn around as fast as possible and turn on them. I do this a lot more often now than I did before, and I do rely more on my aiming more than ever now, but having 20 in my general sensitivity works the best for me. Now, my vehicle driver sensitivity is at 10. This is just the default settings for this, but I have been driving more often than ever now in my career in PUBG, and I'm having a lot of success driving, not bailing out, not hitting any trees or anything, especially when I'm in a motorcycle and dying to my death. My aim acceleration, I did put it back off. I felt like my aim acceleration now with my aim down sight scope sensitivities felt a little bit off when I did have it on, so then I just turned it off and everything feels smooth as butter because it has a constant speed of what my optic sensitivity is. Now, my over the shoulder aiming sensitivity is at 9. I did dock this down to 9 because before it was a little too fast. When I had it lower, it was a little too slow. I feel like 9 is my sweet spot when I do have to use my third person aiming over the shoulder. But for me, honestly, it's either I aim down sight majority of the time, but if they're super up close to me, I just hips fire without aiming, without third person aiming. But if I have to do the over the shoulder aiming, 9 is the sweet spot for me. Now going into my optics, all the things that you guys all been waiting for, my aiming down sight sensitivity for my 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 sensitivity is at 10. Now this is the part where I followed malicious settings, to be honest with you. I placed everything at 10. Everything before was, all at different numbers, but a constant 10 all around the board really does help with my my aiming, because I do have a control freak on my right analog stick, and for some reason 10 on each and every single aiming down sight sensitivity optic scope with the 58 on the vertical sensitivity is just bread and butter for me. It helps me control my recoil, and it helps me target my enemies faster if they're moving or in a vehicle. And again, my 15x scope is at 20, but I never use the 15x scope because it is broken as hell, and even if I have it, I'm just gonna pick it up and throw it in the freaking water if I have to. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that's all the majority, or that's the main settings of mine. But if you guys do wish to know, I do have auto equip weapons, attachments, scopes, and all of that on, but then I do have my auto reloading off. Now that is it for my sensitivity. Again, and my field of view is at 103, and my brightness is at 100. Try these sensitivities out if you like. This is what helped me get my 20 bomb. Again, the card is gonna be in top right, in the top right corner of the screen right now. Click on it if you guys haven't watched my 22 kill chicken dinner. If you guys don't like the sensitivity and it feels a little off for you guys, on the top right now is gonna be my former sensitivity settings that worked well for me for several months until I decided to change it for a faster flicking type of playstyle. I do plan on making my sensitivity for my optics a little bit higher. Looking at Zastro's gameplays, man, when he had 20, it was crazy on how good the flicks are. But at the moment right now, I don't want to change anything because I am having a lot of good success on PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds right now. So this is the end of my sensitivity settings. This is not the end of the video though. Now I'm gonna explain, my controllers and everything for what I use for the PS4 and on the Xbox. So hopefully I could, reiterate, or I could explain well enough about those controllers. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and might as well hit that notification bell. It is greatly appreciated. Love you all. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, guys. Mwah. Alright guys, now I'm gonna describe the controllers that I use. I am in a game right now while editing. Plow wanted to play, so I'm playing with Plow, Bearded, and Chuck Rob, so shout out to them. Love playing with them. Our very first match together, we got a chicken dinner, but anyway, that's besides the point. So for the controllers, I do use the Xbox Elite controller, wireless as well, so you guys don't claim me for like using Cronus Max or anything like that. And then again, the left button, or the left trigger, is the LB, and then the right trigger is the A button. I do have a control freak on my right analog stick, so I could have a precise shot, especially using 10s and all, scope magnifications and everything. And the same thing for the PS4 controller. Oh my god, by the way, Rob is stuck. I don't know why. But yes, it's the same thing for the PS4 controller. I use the Astro C40 controller. Now, to be honest, this is actually bigger than the Astro A40 controller, so it did, feel more weird to me to use this controller rather than this controller. See, it is bigger, but it is lighter. So then, luckily I do have big hands, so it does feel somewhat natural to me. The analog sticks does feel a little bit more loose. So there's that. But again, same thing on the left side. I do use a LB button, and then the right side I do have an A button. And there's no configuration for the analog sticks. They're both on default. I don't use the trigger stops because I do have to use, the driving feature. And if I use the trigger stops, then I won't be able to drive. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you all for stopping by. That's the controllers I use for the PS4 and the Xbox. Hope you guys enjoyed this settings video. If you guys did, please leave that like. Subscribe if you're new around here, and might as well hit that notification bell. Plow's going to commit suicide here, so we're just going to wait for that. He's going to do it now in 3, 2, 2.5, 1. You guys have a wonderful day.
Hey Brett,
Peace
how
out,
many kills
guys.
you have?